Live. Oh wow, this is a crappy camera. So this is like I'm gonna be doing a recipe showing off my fried cabbage, but like this is also a vlog. Talk about things in my life, stuff like that I've been going through, and yeah. So let me first start by washing my hands. Basically, I've been traveling across America cooking. I'm gonna try to put this up higher. I've been traveling across America cooking and doing all that fun stuff. I think in the year's timeline, I lived in 12 different states. I'm gonna try to remember all of them in a year's time, trying to find a home, but nowhere's really been home. So I just keep trying. But okay, I first started out in Tennessee. Okay, I first started out in Tennessee. Let me show you the ingredients to the cabbage. This will probably be the most important part that you put in your cabbage. These, they don't have to be fresh. Okay. Then I have one nice onion, nice and hard, yellow. And I have a whole head of cabbage. Cabbage. So get that fluffy light green, baby. I'm gonna roll some of this up and smoke it later when I get drunk, which is now. Oh, but yeah. So let's see. I was in I have to hide my stuff from my auntie because she don't like me drinking. I get to popping off at the mouth real quick. Oh, that did not hit the spot. Okay, you need a nice sized pot though. So we're rocking with this bad boy. Make sure it's clean. My auntie don't know how to wash dishes for shit. Bless her heart. Bless her some bitch heart. Let's just go ahead and get that warm. We ain't fucking around. Just found out somebody used to hang out with died. I went down and poured a couple beers out on his property. I figured he would have liked that. But let's see here. We gotta find our cutting board. Where the fuck that's at? Cutting wild board. Here it is. Try to hide shit from. So, oh yeah, this is a crucial ingredient, right? You got hog chunks of hog. All right, so we're gonna render the fat out of this shit. Is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna use that to fry our cabbage. So, what we gotta do, we gotta chop it up and cook it on a really low heat in order to get the fat to come off of it. Oh, that's good fat right there. That's good. Let me show you what we're working with here, sir. See that? Bacon ain't got nothing on this here hell. So let me just get my kniff and we'll get started. As soon as I find the kniff, which I fucking want. So damn, there's a nice knife somewhere along here. If I can find it. Oh, here we go. Here's a cleaver. I like cleavers. This is my favorite cleaver. I'm a cleaver man. But cleaver alone, boy. Alright. So the thing about this is I could cut this really small and it would render better and everything, but I like the big chunks. I think it adds more character to the dish and it tastes better to me. So it is what it is. But this is like all fat too, so that'll render down nicely. Just nice little slow heat. This stuff's already cooked, which doesn't really fucking bother me. I mean, it would have been preferable to get the shit not cooked, but it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. I'm getting all that lovely fat off of this here. Get all this lovely fat. And um, some of this, I am going to cut up really thin just to make sure I get that fat inside of the pan and everything. So, anyways, I was in Tennessee and I left to go back to Portland, Oregon. That was the first place. That's one. I left, went there. Now, I had intended on going to Vegas, but some shit didn't work out. So, Portland, Oregon it was, right? Well, I worked 2 jobs. I could not get ahead because I couldn't rent anywhere that was reasonable. And I finally did get someone from an Airbnb to rent me a room for $1,000 for one room, but it was in a nice place and I was making good money in that area. So I do regret leaving that shit. So there was that. And I can't remember the exact timeline. All this shit happened. I think I left Portland then. Yeah, I left and went to Iowa. I went to Davenport, Iowa. And I decided to just leave because I thought it was too ghetto. I was like, fuck this shit. I didn't come to Iowa to be in the fucking ghetto no more, you know. But yeah, basically, this is a lot of fat. I might need to save this for her. Some of this, yeah, she might want some. I don't know why I'm throwing all that shit in there. Actually, that's too much fat. So, I mean, yeah, that's way too much. I don't. I want the meat out of here, but this is just too much damn fat. You can put these in some beans. She'll put it in some beans later. But yeah, I did too much here. She'll throw this shit in some beans, or I'll throw it in some beans later. It'll be really good. It'll taste real fire. So we'll do that. But this is too fucking much right here. This is too much fat. I wanted the meat though. I wanted the meat out of the pork to mix in. But it's all fucking fat though. It's all fat. It's basically all fat. So with that said, that's about right. Right there, that's about right. And I got some catfish I'm gonna fry up later. We got some cornbread that my auntie already made. Well, that's a lot, but see if you can see it. Okay. See, it's rendering the fat. So we're just gonna go ahead and rock with that. But so okay, I went to Portland and I couldn't make it. I was working 70 hours a week, having to pay, for hotel rooms and shit. Airbnb, nobody would rent me a room for besides the one person that would rent me a room for $1,000. So I was like, fuck this. I'm like, rent a room, $1,000. I just couldn't do it. But looking back on it, with the neighborhood was really nice and everything, so like it was actually really worth it to stay there because the location and my jobs were paying me very well. So I go to Davenport, leave after like a week, right? I'm gonna throw this whole onion in here, so you know. This is the way I'm gonna cut it because see that big chunks of onion. I'm just gonna chop them like that and throw them in there. I know how to cut onions. For this, this is perfect. And we're gonna use all of our product because waste is a thief. I might save actually some of this if my for those beans. I'm gonna save half of this for those beans. So this is not bad, but I'll save half of this for those beans. That'll be fine. I'll go ahead and let that do its thing, and then okay. So after that, I went to damn. Where did I go? Uh, Portland, Davenport, back to Portland. I got a job cooking in a strip club, making ungodly amounts of money, like $23 an hour on a bad day, with my tips and everything. I beat the shit out of my boss in the strip club, like because he was disrespecting me. So I beat his ass and lost my job. And then I got kicked out of the fucking place I was staying in, and then I lost my wallet all at the same time. So I slept in a fucking tent for like 2 weeks and did day labor to make enough money and wait for my ID card to get there in the mail. But I suffered. My shoulder and stuff was so fucked up, and I had to lift up these huge ass railing systems and for garages and shit. And basically, like I would go and smoke heroin and shit before I'd snort the heroin and shit because it actually kept my ass from being in so much fucking pain, so I could actually finish the job and get paid. But yeah, after that, I went from there to Vegas. Right? I don't know what it is about Vegas, but it's like they hated me. I had a bad time. The place I went to, U.S. Vets, it's like a shelter kind of, but only for vets. They had Jurassic period motherfucking uh bed bugs there, really bad. It sucked so bad, and I suffered. I worked at the Paris Hotel in Montigny off the strip. I worked there. I'm gonna let this actually cook down. I gotta let this fat render here. So I want to put some color on my shit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let that do its thing all slow. Like I got my catfish. I got a whole bowl of catfish in there. But no, basically I'll turn this back up some so you see. Basically, I went to Vegas and the shelter there for the U.S. Vets place. Man, just had Jurassic period fucking bed bugs. Like I'm talking like these things are so fucking big. Like and there was no killing them. Like I bought the stuff for like bed bug killer, and they could just swim in a puddle of that shit. They're like immune, and they be all over you. And I think that's why I got so much shit from people, is because like people know that area, and they don't want you working there with them, and you risk giving them bed bugs and shit. So I had dudes like trying to fight shit like that at work, all types of crazy shit. But no, I went and found this site called coolworks.com, and I found a job making 23 bucks in Montana. So that's the third place. That's the third state, right? I went to Montana. Uh, the money was good. Everything was good. Eventually, I had to work it all out. They realized my skill set was like, let's keep this guy around. So when I was like, I'm not happy here. I'm not happy with this situation. They basically worked with me and was like, what can we do to fix this? And so I had everything I wanted. They paid me $23 to prep cook. I started as a gourmet chef, but then they're like, I had problems with the sous chef and shit. But they wanted to keep me, so they put me in prep for $23 an hour, which is a lot of money to fucking, peel potatoes and shit. So I was happy. But okay, with that said, I was still kind of salty about it not working the way I wanted. And also, I'm not really attracted to the Argentinian girls that were there. That's all it was Argentinian girls, because nobody's trying to work in this climate. So uh, basically, it was that only. And I was like, I didn't come to Montana for Spanish women. I could have went to fucking Miami for that shit, So yeah, I left and went to this Airbnb manor. It's a big ass manor, and I didn't know the lady was crazy. Right, it was in Denver, Colorado, right outside. I forgot the exact name of the name of the place is called Arrowhead. You can look it up online. Like, the lady shot her husband, and like she hired people on meth. Whenever I was there, there's some meth in the place, and I was like, I'm not gonna deal with this shit. And she basically kicked me out because I wasn't gonna deal with people smoking meth and working with them. I wasn't gonna work with a bunch of. She's gonna have me do all this work while these people just sit around and smoke meth. And I was like, what the fuck? I think all this is rendering down. I'm just gonna break it up. I know something I learned in culinary school is to season as you go. So we got this here, what we're looking like. You can see it, but I get better lighting for the final product. I'm just gonna season this as I go. I want, of course, pepper, right? And I like paprika. I think it tastes good. Gives it a little heat. So I just extra on discretion, extra on discretion. Here's some garlic sauce. So we got some garlic. This is the only garlic I'm gonna get, unless there's some garlic powder. Oh, fuck, I don't see. I see garlic salt. Yeah, I just see a bunch of garlic salt. So I know this pork is gonna be fucking salty. Now this is good shit right here. This Mrs. Dash is gonna add a lot of flavor in that motherfucker because I got garlic and herb. So I don't think this is salty. It's salt free. So I'm gonna use this shit instead of this shit because I'm not gonna need all that salt. That pork in there is gonna make it salty. So we're gonna use Mrs. Dash. See, you just once you get good at seasoning food, you don't have to fucking what it's gonna taste like whenever you pour it in there, right? So you just do that. That smells wonderful. It smells really wonderful. Okay. We're just gonna rock with this, and we're gonna start frying that cabbage. The texture is gonna get from just sitting there and frying like all slow light here. I'll take and cut it up. So then, anyways, where was I at? Okay, I'm in Denver. The lady hires meth heads. I'm not having it. And I said, I'm gonna go. So I left. And from there, I think I went back. I went to I think I came back here to Tennessee. Then I had to find somewhere else to go. So I took a job. I think after that, I took a job working in Nantucket, Massachusetts. So if you ever heard that thing, there once was a man from Nantucket. That's the place I went to. The head chef was an asshole. I fucking left there after not even being there like 2 weeks maybe. Yeah, it was a small place called the Beach. Really good food. They cooked great food, but I mean the guy was just a fucking dickhead. So that was the end of that. So okay, so I go to there. Doesn't work out. Then I come back to Tennessee again. And this time I go to, where the fuck did I go? Oh, California. Uh, go out there to Cali, Groveland, Yosemite Park. I work there. Um, I, I really already had a job, or I was doing stuff, but like I think I went to Iowa first. And I was like, yeah, I went to Iowa. I went to Des Moines. And I worked for a guy there, and the motherfucker, I worked 60 hours for him, and he only gave me $100. Long story short, he's a dickhead. But yeah, then I go to California. I went to as crazy as it sounds. I went to fucking uh, Iowa like 5 or 6 times to live there. And it never worked out. I went. Oh damn. Well, there goes that. So yeah, we can say YouTube. All this cabbage is going to cook down, so you don't have to worry about having too much cabbage in that pot. It's all going to just shrink up. And then you're not going to have enough cabbage. So we got pepper, salt, garlic, or the herbs. This is dash in there. Ooh, it smells great. It smells wonderful. But after we get done, I'll put that garlic sauce in there, and then I'll wait till it's all the way finished though, because I don't want to make it too salty. I don't know how this shit's going to reduce it out. And of course, this is going to take a while, so I might make a small video of how it looks like after it's done cooking and all that shit later. But I'm gonna just cut out this really hard part. I don't think there's really anything wrong with it, but I'll cut it out. Do that, pull it out here. But yeah. So then I go to uh, where did I go? I went to California. I went there to like meet girls. I actually fell in love with this one really hot younger chick, and I was like, I didn't expect that shit to happen. And I was like, man, I can't be sitting around listening to this girl get fucked in a fucking dorm room next to me. So I kind of was like, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hurts. So I was like, yeah, time to go. The job wasn't all that anyway, so I wasn't too fucked up about it, to be honest with you, or whatever. So not fucked up about it. I don't think you can save this cabbage for anything else, so I'm just gonna use all of this whole thing. It'll cook now. It's all good. I'm just cutting it into little squares, like probably smaller than this one or whatever. That's about it. And then, where did I go? I'm just gonna let all this shit. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna let all that just do its thing. And it's gonna shrink down and cook inside of there. But right now, it's so much I can't even fuck with it. So I'll finish my story. So then I went to after California. Where the fuck did I go? Oh shit! I came back here. I know that. I came back here. Then I went to Iowa. Lived there. All that shit. I'm really thinking. I know there's like 10 places. I just can't fucking. That's how many places I've been to. I can't even fucking remember all the fucking places I went to. Like all the states I went to. That's how so bad it is. But no, basically that's about it. But remember, this is what makes it good. These red kidney beans, you put that in it, and I'll make another little short snippet video in case anybody's interested on what the final product is like. But until then, be easy or not. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, bye. See y'all later. Maybe. Maybe not.